The Labor Department and OSHA's rules regarding vaccine mandates for companies with more than 100 employees are out. Now, before you comment, please watch this entire video and also understand this rule is already being challenged in court by states and private companies, and we do not know the outcome of that litigation just yet. The bottom line, OSHA's emergency temporary standard says employees of companies with more than 100 employees have until January 4th, 2022 to be fully vaccinated against COVID-19 or be subject to weekly COVID-19 testing, whether you are full-time or part-time. Now, there's a lot to unpack. I'm actually going to go through all 6 of these major issues that I know you guys care about. First, I told you these rules were coming in this video that I posted on Tuesday. And if you are wondering what OSHA's emergency temporary standard is, please go watch that video. Second, this emergency temporary standard for vaccines and testing says if you work for a company with more than 100 employees, you either have to be fully vaccinated by January 4th or get tested for COVID-19 every week. Also, if you refuse to be vaccinated and instead undergo the testing, OSHA says you must wear a mask at all times while at work. Third, OSHA says its emergency temporary standard rule overrides any state or local rule or law that bans or limits your employer from requiring you to be vaccinated, be tested, or wear a face covering. Fourth, there are some exceptions to this rule. Those of you who work from home and don't interact face-to-face with other workers or patrons, even if your company has more than 100 employees, do not have to comply with any of this, unless, of course, your employer decides to make it a blanket company-wide policy. Of course, you may be granted a religious or medical exemption that would exclude you from this. And this specific rule does not apply to federal contractors, subcontractors, and health agencies that get money from Medicare and Medicaid because the president already signed an executive order that mandates a vaccine for all of those workers by January 4th, 2022 with no testing option. Fifth, compliance. According to the OSHA rule, you must give proof of vaccination to your employer, and your employer must keep that private, but on file. And if you or your employer don't comply, there are hefty fines. OSHA says it will conduct on-site workplace inspections and impose penalties. Those can range from more than $13,000 per serious violation, and it compounds, up to more than $136,000 if a company willfully violates the rules. 6, costs. OSHA says your employer must give you paid time off to get the vaccine and give you time off to recover if you have any side effects. If you choose to be tested instead of being vaccinated, you may have to pay out of pocket for your own testing. Your employer is under no obligation to pay for that testing unless there is a separate deal with your union or other laws that would require it. Now, there's a lot in this video, and there's a lot more that I couldn't get to, but I put all of the FAQs and the links from OSHA on my website.